Call the police immediately.
I don't get it.
No idea what you're talking about. Yes? Hello? Hi, stranger.
I want ham and eggs and flapjacks with lots of butter and syrup and coffee. I'll take the coffee now.
Why have you come here tonight? Strange.
Where's my dough?
Good morning, party people in the place to be. Welcome to another week. Welcome to another week, man. Let's go. Let's get that energy up, man. Let's get excited about a Monday, right? We stepping out here, starting a new week off, man. Let's start it off on the right foot. DSJ is in the building. What's good? What's good? DSJ, it won't be any Chuck this morning, man. Let's just say it's a vacation day for Chuck. Let's just say it that way. Chuck won't be here. Chuck will be out today, so it'll be me and the usual cast of characters, coming through, hanging out, talking that talk the way that you like to have that talk to you, right? Where I'm at in the Carolinas, man, is a crispy 28 degrees mid-January. Wow, mid-January, man. It kind of feels good. It kind of feels good. I ain't gonna lie. Kind of feels good. Nice, crispy air. The start of a new week. Bam. Let me do something real quick. Hold on. Whew. All right. This feels better. This feels better. I got something on my hat. Yeah, something on my, but whatever. Man, do I have a conversation for y'all? Do I have a conversation for y'all this morning? Man, so let me salute my co-host. Salute to Chuck. He's probably somewhere saving the world. Chuck, he probably somewhere, saving the world, getting a puppy out of a tree, helping some old ladies cross the street or something. You know how Chuck is, man. Chuck is a superhero, man. So salute to that brother. Before we get started down the road of a bunch of stuff, because I have to do a birthday weekend recap. I have to do the topic of today. The topic of today is, oh man, hold on. This is my mother calling me. Hold on. Let me do something. I'm gonna try not to make y'all laugh. Hold on. I forgot today was a holiday. Okay, it's my fault. I forgot today was a holiday. I forgot today was a holiday. Do this. I gotta do the technological thing. Let me do this. Let me get a shareable link. Share and then share with some people. Okay. All right. There we go. Yeah, DSJ. It's Martin Luther King Day. But let me start this thing off like how me and Chuck like to run it. I'm gonna stay disciplined, right? How about what's in your cup? So, what does Uncle Freezy have in his cup? Water. So I'm on that water train this morning, bright and early. It's one of my New Year's resolutions, things of that sort, man. Just wanted to talk to y'all quickly about a bunch of stuff. Now, listen, what should be in here is the Kool-Aid, right? The Kool-Aid should be in here, but not any type of Kool-Aid. Let me get into a thing real quick. You know how sometimes when you buy into something, they say, "Oh man, you drinking the Kool-Aid?" I think it's like one of those Jim Jones references, like, "Oh man, you drinking the Kool-Aid on that?" Yeah, I am drinking the Kool-Aid on positivity. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid on positivity. I'm trying to make this year, 2023. I'm into that positive mindset. Right. That's going to be my approach going forward as long as I can make it last. Right. I want to make this positivity thing be a way of life. Right. I want to make it to be a way of life. Right. And not for the sake of, say, trying to impress people, but maybe trying to impress upon people that I know we've been through some stuff. A lot of us have been through some things these last few years. These last few years on us hadn't been quite the way we envisioned things going, right? But regrouping, so to speak, and taking a deep breath, so to speak, and having perspective, for sure, I think can help us get through trying times, hurtful times, and painful times, right? Yo. So, with that said, I want to talk about New Year's resolutions and why at this point we should reevaluate our New Year's resolution, because we're beyond 2 weeks into a new year. And this is that point in time where a lot of New Year's resolutions tend to fade. I want to talk about what it means to have family and friends help you celebrate major events. And for the fellas and for the ladies, I have a topic that I want to talk to you about. And it's called, "Can you talk to your girl?" And basically, can your girl talk to you? Right? So before I do that, I'm just going to do a little bit of current events. It'll probably be sports related. and then we'll jump into it.
I'm overheated, can hardly sleep at night, doing crazy dreaming. You're the reason why. Hiding by the baby, losing my mind. Don't try to save me.
All right. So I had a breakfast / lunch type thing yesterday with my people, and I forgot that being a Cowboys fan really is a thing. I forgot that being a Cowboys fan is really a thing. Like, legit, being a Cowboys fan is a way of life for some people. I mean, they have, Dallas Cowboy coats with stars on them. They have license plates on their cars. They have flags in their car windows. Honestly, I'm a football fan. My team is bad this time of year. I hadn't even had my mind on what's going on. But here recently, it seems as if my New York contingent is super excited about their New York Giants winning a playoff game, and salute to them. But that is nothing. That's nothing compared to how Cowboy Nation feels. I'm a Bears fan, by the way. I don't like the Cowboys. I don't like the Giants. But in terms of the current events thing, this Cowboys thing is out of control, y'all. Any of you guys know a Dallas Cowboys fan? Do you have the unfortunate privilege, or not even privilege, the unfortunate circumstance of being around people that like the Dallas Cowboys? It's crazy out here. I don't even want to talk about it no more, man. I don't even want to talk about the Giants or the Dallas Cowboys. But that was your current event, in case you hadn't noticed that I didn't want to talk about it. All right. Let me get into a random thought.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry.
All right. So here is my random thought for the day, right? To me, it's beyond overwhelming when your friends and family members show you love, like on a certain day, like on a birthday, a holiday, whatever, an event. So my birthday was this weekend, right? And I had such an outpouring of love and support from family members and friends and people that I kick it with, and people that I kind of forgot about a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They just show up out the blue, like, "Hey, man, big dog here. You know what I'm saying? Take this for your birthday, man. Enjoy your day." And some of your family's getting super sentimental, like, man, I never thought we'd make it this far, man. We see another birthday. You know, some of our classmates done passed away. You know, some of the people we used to work with, they done passed away. Or on the flip side, they're like, man, you still looking young, man. You still looking young in the face, like a little baby doe or something. You know, or they'll say something like, can you believe at our age, we the only ones without grandbabies, man? Everybody else we know around our age got grandbabies and, you know, or whatever, they retiring from such and such place. They done worked at such and such place for all them years, and now they about to retire next summer. And you like, dog, retiring? Retiring? Say they've been in the military for 30 years or something, or they work at a plant in your town or something. And you know what I'm saying, they retiring. And you thought you was too young to even have that conversation. And it just go back to think, yeah, you old enough. If you would have started young enough, you could have retired. Just hung in there, did them 35 years or so, and you could retire. And so it's one of them things, man, where it's like, man, these birthdays, once you get to a certain age, these birthdays start to come around faster and faster. And DSJ is in the building. DSJ said, I had an in-law who played for the Cowboys. May Marion Barber rest in peace. Yeah, Marion Barber III. I remember him. He also played for the Bears. I remember him. DSJ, it just lets you know, bro, how this age thing, it if you allow it, it'll overwhelm you sometimes. You get to like these bigger birthdays. Like, for instance, I know somebody, so I have somebody special in my life that'll turn 70 this year, right? And while 70 is not the major number, but 70 is like a big number, right? Because now, like, say for instance, if you turned, so DSJ, say if you, like a round number, like I don't want to, don't say 30 or 40. Let's say you turned 50, right? So when you turn 50, right? Like when you turn 50, all of a sudden you are looking at yourself like, hey, I remember my grandfather telling me he was 50 and I thought he was an old man. I thought he was about to die. I thought he didn't have no life left. And now you are 50 and you thinking like, yeah, man, I got a lot of life left in me. I got a lot of juice left. You know what I mean? Say when you were a kid, say when you were 6 or 7 years old, and one of your favorite, say your grandfather or somebody, right, would tell you how old they were. And as somebody who was 6 or 7, you'd be like, wow, granddaddy, you really 50 years old? You old, man. And now the Lord blessed you to see that age, whatever your age is, whatever that age is. Say if you 40, say if you 60, whatever age it is, 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever age it is. And now you're like, man, I used to think being 60 years old was so old, but now that I'm 60, it just seems like I'm still young, still got a ways to go. Right? So my birthday came. It was, man, a really good birthday. The missus made sure I was taken care of. I went and visited some old friends. Um, um, some good friends that are not old friends, but somebody I hadn't seen in a while. Um, drove around a little bit, took some time for myself to think about myself. My Knicks won yesterday. That was awesome. I don't care who they played. So I didn't do any Lawrence Tears stuff yesterday. I took the day for myself and got back, thinking about myself and the good things that I have, like having like the DSJs around, the R&B sensation DSJ, having DSJ around, having Chuck around, having G-Man for Life and J Boogie and a whole bunch of guys around that's just around, right? Not asking for nothing, not forcing me to do anything, but just kicking it. Like the Andrew Colleges of the world, the DSJs, the Chuck Allens, man, so many people, the Corey Lees, Adam, Greenie from LI, like having people around that don't want anything, like they don't want anything from me, and they're not forcing me to do anything. We just kicking it, and in a respectful way, and in a kind of way that I like it, right? So that was kind of like a beautiful thing, and I know that's a random thought, but the name of this section is called Random Thought, right? So if you got like that a thing coming up, man, and people trying to show you love, and you just kicking it and whatever, man, take time to show those people that are showing you love, show them love back and show them that you appreciate them. That's part of my thing for the new year, is to ensure that my emotional health is in check, not flying off the handle with every little thing, right? Making sure my mental health is in check. And I'll go as far to say, in terms of like the mental health thing, if I feel like I get in like a crisis or something, 2023 will be the year that I'll step outside of my comfort zone and maybe even seek professional help. Right? Like if how sometimes people get like their anxiety gets up and they feel like the walls are crumbling in on them, or they feel like a certain type of way, like a moment is too big for them, and their anxiety peaks and they don't know what to do. If I have I made a promise to myself, if I get like that, then I'll step outside, man, and I may even share that experience with you guys. Right? I don't often get that way, so it's not like an issue for me. I don't get that way. I'm always into myself. So I don't think that I get that way. So Free Keith said, well wishes to everybody. Well wishes to everybody. I think Free Keith said he's on a flight to like Tokyo or somewhere. I don't know. I don't know. But here's the thing. Shout out to Free Keith and the Ghetto Intellect. The tandem. So DSJ says, and for those that don't show me love, I'll just hit them with a brick. Right. Bim. A brick of flour. Bim. So the reason why this is like a random thought kind of, but at the same time, like I think that should be the thing for a conversation. is because last year I noticed, and even this year, I noticed like in certain circles or whatever, that people have so much hate built up in their heart, they don't even know what they're hating for. Right? Y'all notice it. Sometimes people, will get in our chats and they'll say like some of the most sideways stuff. And you like, yeah, something wrong with this person. Like something's wrong with them. Ain't nothing I can do to fix it. You know what I'm saying? Because, if you're not there with the person, you can't really speak to it. You just let it rock, let it ride out. But some of us have family members like that we're around, that we like that we label them with stuff like drama queen or Liddy or whatever it is that we call them. It's just certain things follow them. And I think it's like a thing of an emotional imbalance, like a mental imbalance. Not saying that they're crazy, just that maybe anxiety has taken over. Some type of anxiety has taken over. Some type of an emotional issue has taken over. Something that maybe has not been addressed. Soul Fingers in the building. What's good, boss? Yeah, man. So that was kind of like my random thought for the day. Just if we know better, then do better type scenario where if we know better, we should do better. All right, let me get into our health and our relationship corner, because I've been itching to talk about this, and let's do it.
Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need. What you need. We're broken, it's tragic. We're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic. Believe you could have it. And I know of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that is blackness.
Yo, so here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. I'm going to say this in a way that it's right. Right? Let me say this right. Fellas, can you talk to your girl? Fellas, can you talk to your girl about stuff? And here's the thing too. Can your girl talk to you? I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna step on some toes, but I want to kind of get your feedback on if your girl can talk to you. Right? You know what? I see my people out there. Let me do this. Let me do this. Do that. Can your girl talk to you, man? When your girl has something to say, are you going to listen? Can you tell your girl what you really want? Listen, I'm old school to my heart, right? I'm an old school dude, right? And men around me taught me not to be in touch with feelings. Stop being soft, man. Your feelings hurt. Be a man. This is how they used to talk to me, y'all. I don't know if your family members, if your family members, and when I say that, I mean, even the women used to say that to me. Stop being so soft. Your feelings hurt. This is how they used to talk to me. Jay Busby in the building. Jay Busby says, we could talk about everything except tech, my passion, sports, my addiction. Them. Shout out to Jay Busby. Right? Hey, Jay Busby built computers too, y'all. Y'all need to check out Jay Busby, man. Jay Busby hit me up with a thing at the time, man. We had so much stuff going on. We still have a bunch of stuff going on. Can you talk to your girl? Can your girl talk to you? I watched this thing with Mo over the weekend. This thing called the Best Friends. What was it called, Mo? What was that? What was that TV series we watched? The Best Friends. It's the Best Friends final chapter. What? So we watched the Best Man Final Showdown, right? It's like a TV show, right? Huh? Final chapter. So we watched the Best Man final whatever it is, right? Whatever it is. We watched the Best Man final chapter together. And what I found in that joint was there was a prevalent thing of men not knowing how to talk to others, to their partners, but they could talk to their homeboys, right? And then women struggle in silence. Women struggle in silence, right? So the thing what I'm getting at is as I saw these things unravel, I was like, yo, this dude here gets tired of being played like a simp. So why don't he just tell them that he is not that? If his friends see him that way, why don't he just tell them he ain't soft? Why don't he just punch somebody? Violence is never an answer, right? Violence is never an answer, but he solved his thing with violence. One of the characters got into MMA because he got tired of people playing him like a herb, right? So he gets into MMA, right? But ultimately, that's not what solved his issues. What solved his issues is the ability to talk to his girl, right? Right. DSJ says that was definitely heard around the crib as a kid. Don't be a girl, be a man. Yep. That's how we handle stuff. That's how a lot of us handle stuff, right? But here's the thing, like going back to that show, and it made me realize that a lot of people in my life operate the same way. Be a man. Be tough. The loose every circle has like a loose cannon in it. Like every circle has like a loose cannon in it. The one that's always on the edge of doing something reckless. And we like that. We like that. We like having the loose cannon, so to speak, in our circle. The one that's always on the edge of doing something reckless and harming themselves, but they never do it. Right? That's the thing. Your circle has all these units in it, and it puts you in this situation where you kind of enjoy some stuff and dislike the other stuff, but you deal with the stuff you dislike because the other stuff is just fun. I'm asking because our chat is mostly men. Can you guys talk to your girl? Can she talk to you? What I'm going to say to y'all is not disrespectful, but I believe it's one of these things going around in society that is probably a hidden epidemic, so to speak. I think women deal with a lot of stuff that they don't share with their man because they don't feel like their man is emotionally equipped enough to handle it. Right? I'm going to pick somebody out of the chat to be the example. Joe Smith. Joe Smith is in the chat. Joe Smith's wife is not fine. Well, she fine, but she a working girl. Like she go to work, come home. She a professional, right? And Joe Smith don't pay her no attention like he used to when she was 24, 25. Joe Smith girl done had, 3 or 4 babies. They got 3 or 4 kids. Let's just say 3 instead of saying 3 or 4. They got 3 kids, right? Right. So Joe Smith's wife going about her business. She ain't thinking about how she look. She ain't thinking about none of that. All she's thinking about is making sure that she just stop in the grocery store, pick up what she need to pick up, and come home to make sure Joe and the kids have a good dinner. Because the teenagers are hard to deal with. And as Joe Smith girl pushing her cart to the register real fast, a dude just take liberty and slap on the butt like, "What's up, shorty?" Just slap on the rump. "What's up, shorty?" And Joe Smith girl wilds out, "Keep your hands off me. Don't you touch me, blah, blah, blah." And my man was like, "Yo, it just looked too good. I couldn't help myself." And she goes off, leave all the groceries in there in the store, right? Leave all the groceries in the store, come home, and she frustrated. Joe see her at the door. First thing Joe says, "Yo, where the groceries at? We starving. You said you was going to the grocery store. You came back without no groceries. Where you been?" The kids in there like, "Yeah, Mom, we hungry." Here she is. She been accosted by a stranger in the store. She don't know how to deal with it. She come home. First thing she come home to is Joe Smith like, yo, where the grub at, B? We hungry. The kid's like, yeah, ma. And now the three teenage daughters got an attitude with their mama. They go up to their rooms. And Joe is like, yo, what's going on? And Joe Smith, girl, says nothing. Ain't nothing wrong. Y'all just don't appreciate me. And he's like, yo, where's this coming from, B? You just come stomping in the door. We don't appreciate you. You the one came out here. You the one came out here with your hands empty. You the one came here with your hands empty and an attitude. And now Joe like, man, you know what? Man, fuck it. I'ma just go get us something from KFC, go get us some dinner. I should have been doing that anyway. So now Joe leaves with an attitude because his girl come home with an attitude. He go get like some fast food and bring it back to the girls. He texting the girls, which I want to eat. He taking orders from them and he get them exactly what they want to eat. So now in front of Joe's girl, and Joe looks like a hero to his girls. And now his mom, now Joe Smith girl look like the bad person. And so dinner goes as you plan it, as you think it would. He come in the door. The three girls come. They eat their food. He like, yo, come on, B, you got to get something to eat. She like, no, I don't want nothing. And he like, yo, what's the deal? Now Joe Smith girl had something happen to her. And she can't tell Joe. Right? But then Joe is out here playing things regular. Joe is out here playing things regular. Right? Joe is out here playing things regular. Right? Now her and Joe, she had something happen to her. She need to tell somebody what happened. She talked to her mama and her girlfriends. Now her and Joe are kind of like, Joe, like, yo, I noticed here lately, you know what I'm saying? You've been going places. You ain't been taking me with you, or you ain't been saying where you've been going. I see you be on the phone, you hiding your text messages and all that stuff. You know what's happening. Now, Joe, instead of saying, hey, we need to talk, I noticed that there's been a change in your demeanor, so to speak. Are you okay? Did something happen to you? Joe is like, what's going on? I noticed you preoccupied. And y'all and y'all know, and any married couples in the chat, or anybody in the chat that's married, y'all already know what the preoccupied conversation mean. Why you hiding your phone? Why you hiding conversations? You know what I'm saying? Why you ain't talking to me no more? What I do to you? Y'all already know where things like this go. And DSJ says, do we all take advantage of each other to some degree? Joe has a hard day at work. Does she pick up on it? Hey, yeah, I'm ready to get to that. I'm ready to get to that. And Jay Busby says it can be so hard to move on from our programming. Yep. And you know what? So the thing is, can Joe's girl talk to him about what happened without Joe acting like a little boy? See, because here's the thing. Even if we go down the scenarios of of what happened, right? Say, okay, let's just do scenario A, right? Scenario A is Joe get tired of this attitude and he pin his girl down. And I don't mean physically. I mean, say they in a car riding somewhere, she can't escape the conversation. Say they got like a 30-minute ride somewhere, and you're like, yo, I noticed you ain't been feeling me lately, right? What's going on? And so she was like, yo, the other day, I was picking up dinner and I was rushing to the thing and a man felt me on my booty and then he tried to do it again. And so I just left the groceries in the store and came home. And when I came home to try to tell you, y'all jumped down my throat about where dinner at. And instead of Joe saying, and this is what men do right here. This is what men do. Who is it? Who is it, man? Who is it, man? I'll shoot up. I'll shoot up the Bronx. I'll shoot up the whole Bronx. AP, appreciate you, man. I shoot up the whole Bronx. Who was it? And see, the conversation probably shouldn't have even been, who was it? I'll shoot up the Bronx. The conversation right then should have been, oh man, I didn't know. All I knew was something was going on. I didn't know that you were hurt. Because what it is, your girl can be hurt physically. We don't want that. Right? Your girl can be hurt emotionally. We don't want that. And your girl can be hurt mentally, and you don't want that. Right? You don't want none of that. But Joe's girl wasn't hurt physically. She was hurt emotionally. And then Joe, not understanding who his girl is, hurt her mentally. Right? Or vice versa. She was hurt mentally in the store, and then came home, and then her support system wasn't there to support her as she was going through something. Right? Soulfinger, what's good, boss?
What's going on with them?
Ain't nothing.
Sitting out here in Cali dealing with this storm. It's raining like I'm down south again.
Bro, it never rains in Southern California.
That's a lie. They like to tell you the devil is a lie.
Yeah, man. So we getting these things like I'm asking Soulfinger, can you as a husband, as a man, talk to your girl? And on the flip side, can your girl talk to you? Because a lot of times when there's a conversation to be had, a lot of times we're not in that
mindset, in that mode,
in that place, in that environment where a conversation is right. Yeah. And then at the same time, if we ever say, let's talk about this later, then sometimes the steam from that conversation has lost its steam. And then sometimes we just like, man, never mind, nothing, don't worry about it.
It's all situational. Seriously, when you think about it, when you say let's talk about it later, like for me, I want to catch when the turbos and spooled up. It's best that I step away, let me calm down, get my mind right, so I can use the right, so I can say something without coming back in a bad way. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be taking out my frustration out and going over the top, because I'm wicked with the mouthpiece if you push me there. But for the most part, you gotta, it's the whole programming. Like DSJ was saying, it's hard to come up out of that, because the way a lot of us as men were raised, you're not supposed to be soft. You're not supposed to do this. You ain't supposed. It's not supposed to. You're supposed to be a man. Man don't do that. Man just shut up, deal with it, keep pushing. You know, I know people you got to talk to is your homeboys at times about stuff. So for the most
Mhm.
part, you gotta try to, it's hard to break the programming, man. Like my man, can't remember who else put that in the chat, but it's hard to break that programming.
Yeah, yeah, but the thing about it so, okay. So I know there's nothing new under the sun, right? I understand that.
Hmm.
I understand that. But I should not be handling my wife like my father handled his wife because we
Hmm.
live in a different time and era.
Well, you know what? I say this like put it like this, Freeze. But then, as you know, if you seen it was a different time, different era, and you got to look at the things that went on in your household. Do you want to
Yeah,
be the same way? So you had to put it in your mind. Nah, I'm not gonna be like that. So you try
right,
to be more in touch,
right,
and that when you say when you put it like that, oh man, you soft, you simping, you soft and baby doo doo. But no,
right.
this is the thing. If you want to make your relationship work, you got to be able to open up, be able to talk. You know, because not every I mean, you talk about couples that have been together 40, 50 years. Look, somebody had to say something to somebody. You just ain't gonna be sitting up there pushing it all to the side. If not, there's gonna be a lot of hot grits and skillets.
Yeah, I think sometimes though in those relationships that last that long, I think sometimes there is a dominant personality and a subservient personality.
Yeah, and some of them there are. It's a lot.
Right.
There's some of them are because I think about some of the old folk back at the crib. How they were. Oh, we've been married for 50 years, but she never said nothing, and I can tell you was a straight up asshole.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Or she ran everything, and you were just yes dear.
Yep.
But
Yep.
um, but then you see some relationships you could tell that they were like Bonnie and Clyde. They were joined at the hip, and you see they could
Right.
talk.
Right.
So I used to look at those folk too. Um, like that the ones that when they used to ride down the road when they had the bench seat. And you thought it was one person, but they all, this is pre-seatbelt days, before you had
Yeah.
that. And they
Yeah.
riding down the road, and you thought it was one person because they were all up under each other like that. And still
Right.
to that day, they were still like that. But they had that thing where they could, it was rare to see a couple that started, because one could start the sentence, the other could end it. And they were looked upon, and some was like, oh, they just showing out of doing too much, but that's just how they actually work because they were actually friends.
Right.
So for the most part, you got to know how to read your partner too. I was listening to your scenario. One thing I did, like I'm just speaking for me, I know mine because she come in with this scowl. I had to ask what's wrong. Because the reason I asked is I was like, man, I don't want to be dealing with nothing right now. Let me see what's going on. Let me see what's going on so I can go back and back to my little world of happiness, of silence and peace. Because
Right.
something could be going on. So there's nothing wrong with be asking, hey, how was your day? That's one thing I got in the habit of make sure I do it. Even if you didn't feel like doing it, it's best to do it because then all of a sudden they kind of feel like it would put the guard down. You know, let you know, oh, I ain't nothing right now. There's something going on, man. I can feel it, or I can see it on your face, and then it
Right.
goes that way. So,
Right. Right. Yeah, man. I think it's and I'm probably when I say this, I probably have to clip it and put it out there in the metaverse. Bruh, women carry baggage, right?
facts.
But men carry 10 times more baggage.
Yes.
And men are clumsy with how they deal with that 10 times more baggage. Right? So for one, in this thing that we call survival of the fittest, men put on a facade about how tough they are. Right? Okay. I get it. I get it. And how I know this to be true, some men drive big crew cab, 4-door trucks that sound like a tank going down the street, and it's just them in it. I know that was me, right? Or men drive an exotic sports car with the car payment is too high for them, but they need some type of worldly validation because they feel like deep down inside they feel like they're losers. I know that was me,
Compensation.
right? Car payment almost higher than your house payment. I know that
Mhm.
guy. I know I was that guy. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it's a fact, right? Or the guy that walks around with too many tattoos trying to show the world that he is tough. I know who that guy is. That was me, right? But the older I get, the more I realize that I don't need validation from the world, regardless of what the world says. I'm in a place where I feel like I know who I am as a person.
Mhm.
And I think if you don't know who you are as a person, when others talk to you about who you are and your place in their life, it's always going to be an argument because they want to talk to you about your place and their life, but you as the man don't even know who you are yet.
You know the other thing, Freezy? Then you take it as an attack on you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you still trying to figure out who you are, because like you said, it's your program, and then you try to get out of it and you try to do, but if you cognizant of what's going on, but it's even harder. Uh, and then too, keep in mind, women are, men, a lot of men don't want to say to you emotional, but you're emotional. You know how you know a man is emotional? If you watch sports, and just real quick, I know this is live. A lot of us is Knicks Nation. So if you watch the Knicks and you talk about the Knicks and you say something wrong, you get emotional.
Right.
Therefore, a man is an emotional creature as well. Just say I'm using the Knicks as well because I've seen it. We seen it in the chat. So
Firsthand.
firsthand, seen it in the chat, seen it on the panel. So that being said, it's hard to deal with because you don't want a lot of men don't want to think of being emotional, you're being an irrational thinker, but yeah, it can happen.
Right.
It can happen, especially if your girl's telling you, well, I don't appreciate you not doing this, or you always do this. And when I need you to be here for me, you're not here. You be like, well, I'm here in the house, ain't I?
Right.
And so you talking to her and then she's like, you said, that's not what I mean. I need you to be here for emotionally. Well, I give you hugs, don't I?
Right.
That's not one. I need you to talk to me. I'm talking to you now, ain't I?
Talking to you now, ain't I? Yep.
So it's just one of the things. A lot of cats are not equipped or built. And so if you got that over time, but then you have some that, and the other thing too, in this day and age, if you looked upon, is you looked upon, you don't want to get looked upon as a simp because you're supposed to be that cat, because the with the hard head is the one that they want, the one to treat them like, treat them like crap and everything. Don't talk to them, call them everything but a child of God or whatever else.
Yep.
That's the other thing they want. So
Yep.
that being said, so it's kind of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't. So you got to, I mean, for you individually, for a man, for most of us individually, just do what you do what's best for you. That's the best way I can always say it. I've been one to try to do my own thing to help whatever everybody else got to say about me, or look at how I deal with things because but it takes time to get to that point. Takes to I'm 50. I'm 50 and frisky and all, but it took it took me a little bit because I wrestled with it in my 20s. I got to my 30s, love my 30s, and I realized that my 20s, I hated my 20s. The 20s, like, yeah, I mean, I hated my 20s pretty much, somewhat.
Right.
But as I got there and realized that, hey man, if you get with somebody that's 10 toes down and got your back, you need to try to make it work and try to talk to them. That's one thing I used to listen. But then to me having, and not a lot of people, a lot of cats had that female homegirl, or you got older sisters, cousins, something you can talk to that can kind of give you a better insight to the woman's mindset or their perspective. So you gotta have that, but you gotta be willing to listen and open your mind. That's the main thing. You gotta be willing to. Now, I'm not saying that I'm all the way there, Freeze, and I don't mean to keep rambling on and on because
Nah.
I'm about as stubborn as a mule. I'm stubborn as two mules, bro. You know, I work is a process, But
It's a
if you want to,
process.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a process, bro. But here's the thing: the world ain't getting ready to help you with your process. The world don't care about your process.
the world can give two damns.
The world don't care. See, because here's the thing: I'm gonna start to get into some language or whatever, y'all. But just remember, this is not about whatever. It's about the point that we want to make. Right? As men, so I got homeboys, right? I got homeboys that will have sex with anything moving, right? Whether she married or not, whether she got a fiance or not, whether she's single or not. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Right? I got a homeboy that told me, and he my friend, and I don't like his ways, but I guess, yeah, but he told me, he was like, man, these hoes out here is for everybody. Just because she put a ring on her finger don't mean, you know what I'm saying, you can't hit. It just means she with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I know dudes that talk like that. That's them. That's them. Right? That's them. That's that. So Soul Finger, bro. My man's is like, yo, these hoes is out here for everybody. Why you worried about what's going on in their home life? I don't care what's going on at home with them. I just want to hit
Oh,
that.
mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I said, hey, look, if he won't, I will.
Yeah.
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 I know all their business. She get mad at him. She come over to the crib and she tell me everything. I know everything about him. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you like, what? Bro, how can you do that? He like, man, they don't care. She leave him and come straight over here to me and tell me everything. I don't be wanting to hear it. But it's what she do.
Yeah, you got to get it. I do what I got to do so I can get mine. So,
Yeah.
you know that.
Yeah.
Then I serve her up, and then she go right back to the
And then
house.
she
She
go
good and
back
happy.
over there. She go back over there to him.
Mm-hmm. And she happy.
Yeah. And so it's one of them. It's one of them things where, if you a man, you don't ever want to think that, right? If you're a man, you don't ever want to think that you and your wife have an argument. She get mad, say she go to her sister's house. She go across town to a dude is a loser, right? And go lay up with him. You don't ever want to think that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But think about that from a woman's perspective. She can't talk to you.
She go talk to another cat.
No. I'm saying no. Hear me out. She can't talk to you because she feel like another woman already got your ear.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Why he won't listen to me? Right? Like a woman to be like, women have like these some women have these insecurities like, man, I done had all these babies, now he don't look at me the same, and such friend be walking around here, you know what I'm saying? And so men in the chat, I know y'all have been through this where you be with your significant other, whether it's your wife or your girlfriend or whatever it is, and y'all just be sitting there and saying somebody cook out or whatever, and it be like a little foxy mama walking through, and your girl be like, that girl need to be ashamed of herself walking through here with that little teeny skirt on.
You know what's funny, Freeze?
Ain't got no respect.
You know what's funny, Freeze? My lady be like, damn, look at that. I done already seen it, but I look and I play it. I'm like, well, damn, I didn't see that, but damn. So
Okay.
she be one of those, pick it up. She like, ooh, look at her booty. I want one like that.
Right.
I was like, so we kind of do that.
Right.
But yeah, I know what you're saying, Freeze. Because a lot of times, it really depends on that whole situation because you know, for those in the those who put on the uniform, is one thing. It's one cat that's universal throughout every branch. His name was Jody, last name Boy. And
Yeah.
Jody Boy was known. And if a cat went on deployment and you had some issues going at home, oh yeah, Jody, hey, Jody comes sliding right on in there. She go find Jody.
Right.
She go find Jody, and everything you did, you weren't doing, everything you were doing, Jody would know. And
Yeah.
Jody's in there hearing it all and getting what you may have started getting when the relationship first started.
Right.
And then you just kind of like, you pissed it off. And Jody getting all the good home cooked meals and Jody getting all kinds of circus tricks behind closed doors that you used to
Yeah.
get that you don't get. And Jody be appreciating it. And
Yeah.
even when you come back from deployment, you thinking, yeah, I can't wait. You do your little whatever, but it ain't the same because Jody, your lady and Jody been doing stunts.
Yeah.
You getting vanilla, but he getting a triple R, quadruple X
Right.
circus stuff, and she
Right.
didn't told you, and he knows everything about you.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And only thing Jody hit her with was, for real. Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Come here, girl. Let me give you a hug. Let me talk to you.
Yeah.
Just tell me, here, hit my shoulder.
Yeah. And and there's nothing as a man. Listen, man, listen. There's nothing you can do about that because there's gonna be dudes out there in the world that's like that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like you may see something wrong with that, but from their perspective, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And what's the answer? Are you gonna go around and kill all the Jodies? No. But what I'm saying is this. From the woman's perspective, like you think like that as the man, you think like a man. What's your girl thinking when you work overtime? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you pull like, yeah, I'm gonna be down at the plant and I'm just gonna do, and then you know what I'm saying, and so it puts you in that space. It's like, is your girl able to talk to you? Can you talk to your girl? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to break up relationships or anything like that, but it was a fascinating topic to me that when your girl go through something, a lot of people ignore her, right? Because she a woman, she's supposed to be the mother. She can't be the girl no more. She can't be the chick no more. Once she put the ring on her finger, she no longer that dime piece chick that you was chasing. She your lady and she the mother. She's supposed to take care of the house. But that's not true. She is still that person from day one.
Mm-hmm.
She just got more responsibilities. Like with you as the man, you got stuff that you need to listen. I say, me and Chuck tell stories all the time about how our homeboys, mishandle situations with their girl. Right? All the time about how our homeboys, cats we know, mishandle situations with their girl. Like I told the story, and I was about to say his name, but I'm gonna give him I'm gonna call him Malcolm. Malcolm in the middle, that's his name. Right? About how Malcolm was in the Marines for 22 years and retired. Got out and worked for the railroad. Worked for the railroad for I think about 30 years, right?
Damn.
So he like 69, 70 years old, right? This fool gonna retire, not know what to do with himself, meet a chick at the Huddle House and have a baby with her.
Oh, at 69?
Yes.
Oh,
This my homeboy too. I'm talking about this. Hey, I'm talking about when I'm talking about when I go to the upper room, he gonna be help carrying my casket.
Ooh. I mean, after all that time, you did your 22. He said he did 50 years.
Basically, he got 50 years worth of retirement. Basically,
Didn't know what to do with himself, and goes
Yeah,
out.
didn't know what to do with
And
himself.
look, at
'Cause-
that point in time, you sit your old ass down somewhere.
And but here's the thing, Soulfinger. His wife the whole time, which is also a friend of mine.
Mm.
I met her first.
We should be calling it Freezy in the middle.
No, I no,
Freeze,
I
you
I mind
Freezy
my
in the
business,
middle.
boss.
Hey, no,
I
I'm just
mind-
saying, using the middle. You got two friends, and you sitting there looking at this. Have you lost your ever loving mind? I know what you're talking about, Freeze, because I know a cat that been in the same situation. I'm like,
bro,
bro, you did this time, and then all of a sudden you pop up with this, and there ain't no coming back.
right, right. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I almost said her name just now. I'm gonna call her. Let's call her Malcolm and Mary. You know what Mary did while he was in the Marine Corps, following him around the world.
Mm-hmm. Put her whole life and everything on,
Put her
just
whole life on hold.
being the good military wife.
Ain't never cheated. Ain't never
Mhm.
did nothing like that, right? Ain't never did. The only thing she did was go to school. She'd go to school, get her degrees, and then not work. She would get her degrees. Like on when you walk in a house, you could see
All the stuff on the wall.
all her stuff on the wall from what she did. That was her thing. I'm gonna
Mhm.
do this. I'm gonna do this. But in terms of chasing her career, she did not.
Mhm. Put a
And the
whole
reason
everything
why
on
she was
hold.
so hurt was because
She
she
supported
put her
him
entire life on
on
hold
hold for him.
for a man, right? And when it come time for them to enjoy their life together and share their worlds, because listen, when he was at the railroad, dudes who work for the railroad, they always gone.
Yes, indeed.
Dudes that work for the Marines, guess what? They always
Always
get
gone.
deployed.
Mhm.
Yep.
Well, you either deployed or you in the field. Trust me, I know that life well, Freeze.
Right. So she put her life on hold for him. And then once they get to a point where they got the dove shack, where it's two doves that can just not worry about money, not worry
Mhm.
about whatever. They could just share their life, like wake up early in the morning, eat them some eggs, drink them some coffee, and just realize they love in the dove shack. He go out and smash a 30-year-old chick that
Old
already
enough to
got a
be his
baby
daughter.
that's at home living with her mama.
Old enough to be your daughter. And you go out and do that with nothing. It's
And
bad
and not
decisions all the way
just
around.
smash, but be in a relationship.
So he went through a late middle age crisis because he had nothing to do with himself.
And you know what Mary did? You know what Mary did? Mary walked away from him. She's like, I gave you my entire life, and this is how you pay me back. I can
Mhm.
never go back and get these 50 plus years back. But you know what I'm gonna do
Mhm.
going forward? I'm gonna live.
Mhm.
And every
And
time I see Malcolm, like I don't see him much nowadays because of COVID and all that stuff. But every once in a while when I see him, he got this puppy dog look on his face. He hurt, right? You know why he hurt, right?
yeah, because he did it to himself.
Because that young girl that got the baby from him is tearing his ass
His,
up in child support.
yes,
And
indeed, got him.
and
Got
she
Cameron
got
Newton.
and she got a young fella there younger than her around his kid.
Mhm.
And Miss Mary is living her best life, and she putting everything on Facebook.
Miss Mary must be Stella. She probably got, and she got her groove back.
Yes.
She got her groove back, and then here he is deteriorating, looking like the mummy, and it's just you can't make that up, man, because it's
And
like a Hollywood story.
ain't nothing Malcolm can do
Mm-mm.
to get her back.
And the thing
Because
is, you
she
got to
gave him
realize,
50, bro. People commit murder and don't even get 50 years, bro.
yes, indeed, that's it, bro. I mean, first of all, man, yeah, he went through a midlife crisis. He was like, you know what? I'm tired of eating the same thing over and over. He was looking at her like, you a bologna sandwich ain't even fried. I'm tired of this. I want this fast food right here. Let me go over here and get this. First of all, she was in her 30s. She already had a kid, and she living at home with her moms. So if she barely got 2 pennies to rub together, and he's looking at it, make me feel good or whatever else. I mean, a lot of times you think with the wrong head, but then you got to step back, bro. Be like, yo, situational. And I mean, so many things you can say that's wrong. And I was like, hey man, but you ain't in it's in the moment. Oh man, that's just wild. But the thing is, you 69 with a baby.
Right.
And that child, look, retirement. Let's needless to say, he's 69, so he's got retirement, he's got some disability. I know a little bit about that. And then he got 2 retirements of disability. Oh, she can't touch that disability, but she gonna get that child support, and that's coming out of his retirement, hitting him over the head. And I guarantee told you he probably working a little piece of a job somewhere at Walmart because he ain't living out there because she all in them pockets.
All in them pockets, bro.
Then you gotta think about divorce. He divorced, and guess what? Mary gets some of that too.
Yes.
She gets some of that because she got all that. She like, I did this and that, and she got the degrees. I put my career on hold. Guess what? Now she in the pockets. So he went from his pocket. He went from his pockets now his pockets about shorter than a midget on his knees.
Right.
They went from looking fatted, like his pockets went from looking like they were so fat they had the mumps to now they shorter than a midget on the knees. So now you in a hurt locker, and then you got to look back over the course of time, like, man, this woman Mary really had my back. I remember when I was sick, she did this, and we need to go. She did that, and she knew she knew how I like my sandwich, like the crust cut off my sandwich. She like, the little things. She used to always wash my drawers, and they were all nice and white. But now it's too late now.
Right.
It's too late. But like you said, you on Facebook, it sound like Lenny Williams. Girl,
Oh, no, we went through that stage already. We went, nah.
Oh yeah, I know you're on that, but he's still on it too, though. That one right there will never go away.
Sophie, I'm telling you, we was at a meeting, bro. We was at a meeting, and my man bust out crying in the meeting, and we knew what he was crying about. We was like, man, pull yourself together.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna be in here all night. You in here crying, and you know what I'm saying. You hate for it to be like that, but bro, you did that.
You brought it on yourself on that. And so, and this
you
may sound cold.
want to say a prayer. You want to pray for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And God, I ain't perfect. And you, bruh.
But see, this is my thing, though, Freeze. And this is call me cold or whatever. And so somebody said, well, it happened to you. But the thing is you damn right it didn't happen to me because I ain't going to be that damn stupid to do nothing like that in the first place. So cats like that, I really don't, for me, cats like that, I don't feel any pity for it because, like, if you're going to go out there and creep, be smart about it or whatever, don't be bringing a life into the situation. See, that's the thing, because there's enough, there's enough of these babies running around here and somebody else. But in that situation, man, I don't care how old you are, what generation. Jump offs have been around since the dawn of time.
Right.
You got some you can't some you with, but then having somebody 10 toes down, and that situation ain't never had nothing, and that's what it was. You got bored because now you got this little younger something that's exciting. This one want to swing from the chandeliers and all like that. You want to feel alive and all like that. Yeah. Man, if you want to feel alive, man, take Mary down to Sandals or to one of these islands. Y'all sit up on the beach and you look at all the little young booties running up and down on the beach. Go get you some drinks, some Cialis and some Viagra, and take it back to your room. Something. But don't do that situation, or just get up out of it, man.
Right. So the thing is with that is this: if my man had merely, all he had to do was, in that moment, go home, talk to his wife. Hey, man, hey, sit down. No, dinner ain't important. Just listen to me. Today, I got tempted today and I almost did something. And sure, she gonna be upset. But she gonna ask you, did you do something? No. I did not do anything. I came home to my wife. right? I came home to my wife.
That,
Right.
you tell her, say, hey, girl, look, I know we up there in age. Let's try a little something here. Let me put these contraptions up in here and put you up in, was it spin you around like a top, something.
Or
Let's
something.
bring it, something or whatever. You got to take it back because at that point in time, I'm just saying, at that point in time, man,
Yeah.
it's with the old blues track is cheaper to keep her in that sense. But the thing is, it is cheaper to keep, and I'm talking about from the financial part, the money, but for the emotional and sanity and to keeping your home and your happiness, your peace of mind, man, sit your woman down and talk to her. Be like, yo, check this out.
Right.
And you got to have those uncomfortable conversations. Couples go through them. Hell, I've been with mine for over 21, 22, since
It's a
21
long
years.
time.
Hold on. No, 22 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you better get it right too. You never know who listening.
Oh, hell, I'm the one that remember that. Hey, look. Hell, I'm the one to get, we go at it about our anniversary because you're talking about it's on this day. I said, no, fool, it's on this day. I know the anniversary. I said, see, most men don't even say nothing about anniversaries. See,
Right.
I'm the one that remember. See, so I like to hold that over. But yeah, the other 22 years, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I keep telling, I say, I won't trade you in for the new version, new 2000, new
Right.
Telemundo 2000. But then I think about it, means I got to deal with somebody younger and train all this. I'm good. I'll stay right where I'm at.
Right.
I ain't got no more car note. So,
Right.
but for the most part, man, you got to talk to them, man. Try to come to some kind of understanding, bro. Because I got a homeboy out there right now, and he got caught up in a situation because he basically took a dump where he shouldn't eat, working around messing with a coworker, and he's doing all the freaky sneaky stuff that he ain't never had. Now, mind you, he's retired, and it's funny. My man was a Marine as well, and he's a Marine as well. Got a kid and everything. He worked with me. You know what I do, Freeze. He worked with me.
Yep.
And the thing he was messing with blew up the spot. Called his house. Told the wife everything.
Right.
Sent them videos and phone calls. There had been little things over the time, call on the phone because they were doing the thing.
Right.
But the thing is, he admitted, say, I was wrong, I messed up. But he out here, the thing is with him, in a way, you could say he turned his negative to his own positive because he out here wilding out. So doing his thing, but you still on them holidays when you can't link up with nobody, you still have it's just you and you remember what you had.
Right.
So I can't tell you whatever else. So it just
yeah.
Mm.
I would say this to what you're saying is I agree with you. These things happen, man. But I think what happens though is, can your girl talk to you though? Can you talk to your girl when these things are happening? Are you gonna share? Are you gonna share how you feeling, or are you gonna go out and do something? Or
no.
When she needs for you to do something, you are not equipped to do anything.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, it's and then see because you go into different layers as you unpeel this onion. You go into so many different layers because you got some cats that's equipped that can actually sit down and talk. Then you got some that could partially talk but go the opposite way. Then you got some that just can't or don't know how. And a lot of it is I'm not going to say that they can't. I'm going to just say that the average man, it's not that he can't, he just doesn't know how.
Right.
He doesn't know how to talk to his lady about it. You know how to talk at her, but how to express something. How can you talk to somebody and express something if you don't know what to do? And then if you don't feel comfortable talking to your homeboys because you don't want to hear the jokes.
Right.
Unless you got that one. We all got that one homeboy that sit down and be like, this real deal and straight to the point.
Right.
You got that. We all got a homeboy that'll tell you what you need to hear. Excuse me, advice, what you want to hear. And he tell you straight up, hey man,
right,
carry your stinking ass home and go talk to your woman, tell her what's going on. You to tell her this, bro.
Right.
You know, you tell her this. If not, she gonna be gone.
She gonna be, yeah.
If not, there's gonna be somebody else in your spot, and then you're gonna be mad. So go home, talk to your woman.
Right.
And so it goes that way. So it's for some, but then if you got that, unless you just been with a whole pack of cats that are animals and monsters out there in them streets.
Yeah.
And they even said, yeah, they may be married, but they still animals and monsters in the street because they like your one homeboy that you were saying, hey,
Right. He out here talking about, man, these hoes I have for everybody. I don't care if they got
yeah,
a ring on their finger or not.
yeah.
And you're
And then
like,
they got somebody at home. They got somebody, and you know, it's cats like that because I know cats like that got 4 and 5 kids at home,
at home.
and he still get the same mentality. Oh yeah, look at this. I got this one right here. Got this one right here.
Yeah.
This one right here. You're like, well, bruh. But then you be like, and you know damn well if your lady tipped out on you, you fall around, you roll around the floor holding your stomach, looking like a constipated monk having a fit.
Right.
So it just, I knew cats. I mean, it was crazy, you know, especially yeah, it's crazy on how the standards go. But back to what you were saying,
Yeah,
you gotta be able to
it's a
talk.
clear, it's clear double standards, bro.
hmm
But
It's,
at the same time, you know, should I be mad at him for thinking that way? No, I'm not gonna be
no,
mad at him for thinking that way. Right. I'm not.
yeah, 'cause
I,
like I said, Freeze, a lot of it is the environment you come from. Because you've never been introduced to new information, new knowledge, or somebody
right,
open your mind. That's what it is, you know.
right.
But then too, like I said, but in some cases, I mean, you know, it's so you can go either way with it. Well, you just got some cases, it's just what it is. You know, I know cases that grew up saying that, hey man, I grew up pimping, you know, and my pop was pimping. That's the way it was. My pop was always like that. So it's in me. It's in the blood.
Yeah, right, right. I don't have, listen, man, I don't have a problem with the game,
hmm
right? Because I grew up in the church, right?
hmm
I grew up in the church. I know how the game go, right? You want to learn life, go to church.
You got everything there. Just you got everything there except for the bullets.
Yes. You want to learn life, go to church. Bro, you want to learn about indecent relationships?
Yeah, preacher
You
pork
want to
chop and
learn
sister
about,
Mary.
yeah, you want to learn about favoritism?
hmm
Bro, you want to learn about legacy, like generational legacies. Like, I'm supposed to be that because my great grandfather built this church with his own hands. You want to hear about that? My grandma started this church. You want to hear that? Go to church. Go to church.
Some of the best soap operas you will ever see.
Ever see. You supposed to go to church for one thing. You get there, you realize it's something else. The whole time you being prepared on how to handle this stuff. Right? Some of the best bid whist players you ever seen in your life, straight out the
Right
church.
there.
Some of the best dominoes players you ever seen in your life,
Straight out the church.
some of the best bass guitar players you ever heard in your life, some of the best singers you ever heard in your life, some of the best gossipers.
Man, look, best reporting you will ever get.
Yes. Go to church. Right? And I'm not knocking the church. I love the church, right? I love the church. I'm not knocking the church. I'm not saying don't go. What I'm saying is it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I got like a minute left, bro. I'm trying to be on a time budget.
Oh, you got to get off so you can talk about Tibbs rotations.
Tibbs rotations, bro. Got to.
Tibbs rotation and minutes distribution.
Of course. Hey man, thank y'all for watching Vibes and Stuff live. Me and Chuck will be back tomorrow, chopping it up about a bunch of different things. Special thanks to Soulfinger for jumping on with me and chopping it up. Thank you to the chat, y'all. We're gonna holler at y'all later. Peace, y'all.
Be easy.